Hey, hey! I didn't you... I mentioned it Tuesday that I was probably going to go live either Wednesday night late or Thursday as the secondary option. So here we are. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday. So didn't get back until a little bit too late. So I was not prepared to do a stream that late. So here we are tonight, building a PC for Adam. So welcome back to the Build Show. CMOS Music Maker, welcome to the Build Show, sir. Tony's over on Twitch and the YouTube. Welcome back to the Build Show. That's right. Tell your daughter happy birthday. Yeah, I will definitely pass that along. She turned 5, so it was kind of a big one. Okay. Kind of in the middle of still in the middle of wrapping up that other building, getting it packaged, because I got to ship that one. That one goes out tomorrow, so that's one of the other things I still got to do tonight, is package it up. It's all done. Found out we had a questionable fan that I had to replace in there, new on the cooler, that Arctic Liquid Freezer 3, on the last 5090 build. One of the fans was making a ticking noise after it hit a certain RPM, so I didn't like that, so I replaced one of the fans. Thankfully, I had fans here. For the Pro, I had another Liquid Freezer 3 Pro, so I swapped fans, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that other fan, but whatever, is what it is. I don't know why it was a ticky fan, but it was kind of a wobble. It was like wobbling a little bit, and it was causing it to just ever so slightly touch the sidewall of the fan, and I could not get it to stay straight, so last thing I want to do is ship a PC with a noisy fan. So I replaced that. But anyway, tonight we're talking about Adam's build. Adam reached out to me actually on Saturday, last Saturday, and he wanted to do this build and have it ready on Sunday, which I was going to do, but we had some A-Firm delays, waiting for A-Firm to pay me, because he used A-Firm for the build. And for those of you who don't know, if you're receiving the money from A-Firm, such as me, there is a delay for A-firm, so I didn't have the cash flow to just jump on all the parts immediately and make this happen. So I have several PCs here for sale, by the way, which is where all my cash flow is currently tied up in. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 builds over here with cash flow tied up in them. And those are for sale. So that's where the business cash flow is currently. I'm a smaller business. I'm not massive. I probably could have made it happen. It's just, it's so hard to do that when you're a smaller business, to fork out. This came out to almost a little, what is it, just about 3 or a little over 3 grand in parts. So it's hard to do. But anyway, he was awesome, and he was super cool about waiting and patiently waiting for the parts for the A-firm to process normally, and then we were able to get the parts as if it was our normal process. Our normal process is 6 to 9 business days for these builds, and we say that because there could be delays in getting parts, there could be delays in receiving funds from financial companies, there could be delays getting funds from banks. Who knows what will happen? And then there could be time getting the build done, tested, and shipped out. I heard that guy's power supply blew up. Which guy's power supply blew up? Thank you for the follow over there on Kick. Hello, 5070 Ti. Nice. Yes. What's up, Steve Anderson? Welcome back to the Build Show. Doomman Zero. Doomman Zero. Welcome to the Build Show. That Adam guy. We might not be talking about the right Adam. I think you're talking about the last guy, which was Michael, that we built for, and that was in the last Build Show. He did have a power supply failure, but I think it was actually more like an i7 degradation issue that blew up. He totally isn't watching. Okay, gotcha. Oh, is this Adam? Oh no, this is Adam. Sorry, Adam. Oh yeah, and I know you have some weird work schedules as well, so I do plan on getting this build done for you tonight, and then we do plan on having it ready for you to pick up tomorrow. I heard a rumor that Adam left his PC on for 60 to 100 days. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, you guys have very similar issues. Michael from the last stream and you, Adam, this Build Show, had very similar issues. But Michael from the last build, we did the 5090 build for on Tuesday, he had a i7 or one of the 14th gen Intel processors that degraded. I think that was his problem, and then his motherboard took a loss, and I think his power supply too. I don't fully remember the story. Tony says, I'm going to try this again. 850 watt is cool. Look for the $20 more. I could have gotten 1,000 watt. Always Intel's fault. It is. It is until it isn't. You are allowed to make comments regarding... Yes, but I won't read that out loud. I don't care. It is just not on my main creator account. Okay, gotcha. I mean, my stream PC has probably been on for over 1,000 days. Outside of the random reboots we have to do here and there because weird stuff happens. You shouldn't tell. All right. Hey, what's up, Grizz Dragon? Over on the Twitch. Welcome back to the Build Show. All right, so let's go ahead and run through the build out for tonight. We're going to get started there, and then we're going to get building. I am going to try to pound through this one pretty quick because we did get started almost 2 hours later than normal, so we're going to go pretty late tonight. That was because I had that 5090 build that I'm still wrapping up and dealing with. Had to deal with a noisy fan, and you know, one thing led to another, which meant I had to take the cooler out again. If you guys watched the last stream, I had to take the cooler out to do that build twice because of a little cable that got stuck. All right, so starting off, we have the Ryzen 7 9800X3D that we're going to be building with tonight for Adam's build. This is the wonderful 8-core, 16-thread 3D V-Cache CPU. So it's got that extra 3D V-Cache, which helps the graphics card. We're going to be putting that on a B850 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 7 by Gigabyte. We have the AMD AM5 contact frame by Thermalright. This is the box version because I rushed and got these parts from Micro Center to get this build done faster rather than waiting for them. So the majority, if not all these parts, came from Micro Center. We have the 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5 6000 CL30 by Clev, which is a good brand. I've actually used this brand a couple times. Well, not a couple times, I've used them a lot. And when I don't have the original RAM that I wanted, this is like my go-to brand that I will go to if something isn't available inventory-wise. So I do trust this brand. If you haven't used it, it is a SK Hynix kit. So it's pretty much very similar to, I think it's very similar to Team Group, which is what originally should have been in here. So that is the Kraz 5 RGB kit. So there is RGB on it, just like it was advertised. We're going to be cooling the processor with a Panorama SE360 addressable RGB cooler. And what's really cool about this is it has the L-shaped screen, the curved screen, which is all one panel, and it kind of gives you that 3D effect on the screen itself. It has addressable RGB fans, and we can also adjust the screen. So if you want it facing down instead of sideways, you can adjust it. So all of that is available. We have the RTX 5070 Ti by Zotac. This is a 16 gigabyte card. This is the solid OC edition. So fantastic card to start with. And then we have the Montech Century 2 850 watt 80 plus gold power supply with the PCIe 5.0 connector for the requirement on the newer cards. The computer this one is replacing is currently running a $50 Chinese power supply time bomb to back everything up. Nice. Steve Anderson says, I know a person that never turns her TV off. She leaves it on for her cat. Oh, that's kind of nice. You know, unless her cat doesn't like it. I don't know. What's up, Chefy Tech? Welcome back to the Build Show. Funny says, I have a different style of that RAM, but the same brand. I love it. Yeah, so you probably have the, not the Kraz, the, I am not thinking of it, but I know exactly what you have by the same brand. Carl, are pre-builds the way to go in 2026? I would say probably yes, until their inventory is out and then their prices become more than what it is to build it. So right now we're kind of flip-flopped. A lot of system integrators have inventory from a while ago, and therefore they're probably offering a little bit better pricing because they're not pre-Ramageddon pricing yet. Now, once their inventory runs out, or they get through that inventory, and they start hitting these new inventory prices, that's when their prices are going to start hiking. And I've already seen that happen on a lot of system integrators. So it's already happening. You still might find deals here and there, like something that's been sitting in an Amazon inventory for 8 months or longer. You never know what you're going to find on Amazon, but my point is, and if you do get that, it's going to have 8-month-old drivers, 8-month-old BIOS, so you still have some legwork to do. Even if we get a pre-built, any pre-built or any computer you get, you should still check the BIOS and check the drivers and make sure that's all up to date when you first fire it up, just to make sure that's good to go, and then make sure XMP is set up, or AMD Expo, etc., etc. So you should treat it as if it's been sitting around for a while, because most likely it has. I don't know how 5070 Ti, as prices are so high, might as well get a 5080, but you can't. This one actually came in at around $1,000 for the 5070 Ti. Yes, I agree that price is high. It's actually around the same price as what it was when it first came out, which was around the $1,000 mark. So not too much higher. But the 5080, that's the problem, is that went up in price. So those are like $1,600 plus. Between $1,600 and almost $2,000 now, depending on what one you want to get. Hey, be honest. Did you scalp GPUs during COVID? No. In fact, I am currently running a GPU from that scalp time. It's a 3070 Ti in my stream system, my streaming rig. And do you want to know how much I had to pay for that? Which was actually intended for a customer's build, who backed out of the build after I got all the parts. But guess how much I paid for a 3070 Ti back in that time frame? Give me a number. A lot of people here already know, so don't you tell me what it is. Don't tell him what it is. I got the same AIO. It's really nice. Yes. Jeff, welcome back. Welcome to the build show. This is an excellent AIO to cool this processor. Tony says 550 or 5070 Ti went up to $1,600 and I paid. Oh, that's for the, you're talking about the Asus Astral version of that. That's like the top card of that series for my 5080. But yeah, $1,000 I would go with the Ti. I don't know. Micro Center does this stuff. The local PC store here in Asia has a rule of testing and checking the BIOS of motherboards before giving it to you, and they update the BIOS for you for a small fee. Micro Center does not do that here. They check. They will go to the extent of checking the socket to make sure there are no bent pins on a LGA style motherboard, but that is it. They don't offer to do the up. Maybe they do, and I'm not familiar with it, because I'll just do it myself, but I'm sure they offer that somewhere in their service department. But then you'd have to check your parts in and get in line, and you'd have to go through the service department. That's not something that's going to happen at checkout when you go pick up the parts. Definitely not something that would happen. So you'd basically have to go into the store, pay for the parts, check your parts into the service center, and they would probably be able to do the BIOS update for you there, and then pick it up a couple days or a few days later is my assumption. Excuse me. Carl says $1,000 for the 3070 Ti back in 2020, 2022. No, that is incorrect. You are too low. I paid more than $1,000 for a 3070 Ti. Keep guessing. Unless you want me to tell you. Yeah, actually, that's not bad. You're right, Tony. It's not. All things considered, right now, it's not that bad. All right, so let's get started with the build. Like I said, I want to try to push through this build. I got a late start tonight, so we're going to try to get started and run through it. Okay, he went immediately from 1,000 to 2,000 for a 3070 Ti back in 2020, 2022. You're still too low. Crazy how the 3070 Ti was once $1,200. Orange Space Gen, it was actually more than that during the Ethereum mining boom. It was actually very difficult to get a 3070, anything with 8 gigs of VRAM. It was almost impossible except for an RX 580, and even those were bloated. Is the 60 series NVIDIA happening next year? I would say things are going to slow down because of the fact that not everybody, they're not having the sales that they used to have because of the cost of everything. And let's just say graphics cards didn't go up that insanely amount in prices. Let's say they stayed the same, but our RAM prices and SSD prices did go up. The only thing that's really gonna happen is people that are buying new rigs are buying high-end stuff, because that's the people with money, and the people with money aren't gonna buy cheap stuff. They're gonna buy the higher-end stuff. So my point is, less people are doing builds right now, which means less hardware is being sold, which means inventory is going to stay longer, which means it might delay the next series coming out for everybody. Everybody might just put everything on hold until things clear up. That would be my assumption is what happens. Looks like Intel's making strides, but they're playing catch up. So they're in a sink or swim type of scenario. So they're trying to swim and catch up. And now they're saying CP are gonna go up like crazy. CP? What's CP? You paid $750 for a 6700 XT. I know. I think the most I paid for a 6700 XT during that time was like $1,200 to $1,300. Oh yeah, yeah. I think yep. Yeah, they were pretty expensive too. That was back when they were first out. Everybody was crazing about the new 6000 series. They're great cards. Maybe late 2028 because once NVIDIA's next rival Zeus GPUs hit the market. Are you talking about Intel? Which is targeted work. Oh, okay. Workstation large scale render house. NVIDIA will act fast and might announce the 6000 series. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can't predict when NVIDIA is going to release the 60 series, the 6000 series, because it's could be a couple years from now, and I agree with that. I think it will be. All right, let's check this. And let's get started with the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, the SSD, and our... Oh, I forgot to talk about the SSD. It's a 2 terabyte SSD, if anybody cared. It's Gen 4 King Spec. One of their faster ones, which is the 7000 or 7400 read. Actually, I have no idea what the Zeus lineup looks like. I've heard of it, but I haven't looked at anything related to it. That's how thick in the weeds I am right now. I'm in the weeds doing this stuff right now. AMD will AMD will AMD, hates Intel. I'm not sure I catch the drift there, Steve. Is that Check It Up is here now? Check it up. Where's the 5090? Well, I mean, the 5090 was here yesterday, or Tuesday. We did the 5090 build Tuesday. We're doing the 5070 Ti build today. And the Haven BF. And use your adult imagination for what BF stands for, 360. The BF 360. NVIDIA does not care. They have 95% of the market. They have 90% more than just the market. They have almost the entire world's money. Oh, that one's not. I'm so used to cutting tapage. I'm blocking the view of that 50... Where? This one? You looking for this one? I set it aside because we gotta build. We gotta get the show on the road, you know. We gotta build. I do agree, though. Over just a little bit. Holy NAND chips, Batman, 2 terabyte in 2026. That kind of purchase makes your bank send a You good? Text. Jeffrey, I like that one. Are you sure you're making intelligent decisions? That's the text. Just wanted to make sure. I built the 5080 PC and a 9070 XT PC, Tony says. I'm not impressed with either one. They're both good, but don't impress me at all. Well, that's because you're so used to, like, the top-end cards, right? Alright. So now, let's slap a CPU in here. Would you guys like to zoom in on this? Would you like to see the process close up? Oh yeah. We can get nice and close. Alright, so we're going to drop the CPU into the sockets. There we go, it's installed. Now let's move on to the content. No, I'm just kidding. When you build as many PCs as me, you do some pretty dumb stuff. So, let's actually install the CPU. This time, it's for real. Alright, so we expose the pins. Clearly, there's 1 million of them. And then we prep our shaky hands for a CPU install. But we're not going to close it up because we have an AM5 contact frame by Thermalray to install. This is the boxed version. Most of the time it comes in a little baggie. So what we're going to do is, in my T20 here, we're going to find our T20, locate it, somewhere over here. There's our T20, and we are going to remove the stock frame. Yep. Now that is out of the way, we can open up our AM5 contact frame and slap that in there. That's going to be a beast. Where's going to be a beast? For the money I spent, 5080, I think it sucks. The 9070 XT is probably the best deal. I agree, the 9070 XT is probably the best value right now available. Definitely don't disagree. Need to buy one. Oh, the T20s? Yeah, they're very useful. Very useful for this process, because I'm sick of using these little wrenches that come with the packets. Which, by the way, Adam, will be included with your build, so if you ever have to take this off, you at least have the tool to do it. I'm not going to tie your hands up. Tell you can't remove the contact frame. Usually when my hand gets involved with the zoomage, it's all blurry, so I apologize if that happens. Alright, good to go. Now that we have that installed, we can move on to our RAM. Made by Chrysler. And tonight, we're going to be working with the Clev. It's like French. Clev. POS 5 RGB, which is 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz CL30. Also, Zach over at Micro Center helped me, because these were behind a locked cabinet. Actually, I don't even think it was Zach. I think it was somebody else. And the price changes so much that they just put a white sticker on there now, by the way. They're like, yeah, well, let's just put a blank sticker on there so we can pen it in when they go to check out. $1,500 for a 5080. I should be able to play 4K no problem. You should be able to play 4K on a 5080. Maybe not like max ultra settings or something, but be up there. All right. Our RAM is installed in A2 and B2. Now we're going to move on to our SSD, which is the King Spec XG7000, which is a Gen 4. By the way, that is not the actual price of the drive, thank goodness. I think I would have left the chat if that was the actual price, but not too far. Let's bring back... Oh, bring back SLI. I got what you're saying. They'll never bring that back. That is gone forever. Very Cambodia. Yeah, man. I don't know if that's Cambodia or not. Since this is a Gen 4 drive, we don't necessarily need to put it in the Gen 5 slot. So I think we can put it in the bottom slot and be running at Gen 4 speeds just fine. We could probably put it in the top or the bottom, and I think this one shares bandwidth with the PCIe slot, which is what we want to avoid ultimately. We don't want to share bandwidth with the PCIe slot, because that will slow your bandwidth down for your graphics card. So we need to double verify, and I do this every time I build on this board. I do the same thing. I have to go look, so I can't flip and remember. So hang tight just 1 second, guys. I'm going to go look this up, and I'll share the screen for you. Well, it looks like we can actually install it in any one of these slots and not share any bandwidth. So, cool. I think I'll just slap it in the top slot for Meow and call it a day. Plus, it has the thermal pads on it, which is a plus. These are always a pain in the butt. You gotta, like, find the sweet spot. It's almost worse than what you're thinking of. Let me tell you. There's these little lips on the metal plate that slide in here at the top of this and here at the top of that, and that's how it kind of locks the back end in. This is honestly being a big pain in the butt. Not impressed with this design by Gigabyte. That's like my only complaint with this board. Is this. How very sensitive it is. Finally. We got it! Holy smokes! Alright, so now that we have that done, we do have to address the support or the what do you call it? Mounting brackets for the cooler. Now, I generally like to deal with that before I put the board in the case. Let's see here. You know, like they used to do back in the day, they wrote games that were just for PC. Now we get hand-me-downs that have no wimpy consoles. I don't know what you mean by that. Must be out of context here. I usually put things in my bottom slot. Well then, I finally got that joke. I store M.2 drives in my prison slot. I am also picking up on that now. That's one of those thoughts you keep in your drafts folder. Yeah, you definitely do. Definitely. Can you show stream your bottom slot? Here it is. I'm not going to bend over for you, but that is the bottom slot. Is that what you were expecting? Yeah, Tony, you still ended up saving money there. All right. Let's get our mounting brackets out of this box for the cooler, and then we'll get the case out respectfully. No, thank you. I know, Daredy. Welcome to the build show, or welcome back. Steve Anderson, yeah, you could get the 35060 Ti's for $1,500. I know, and you could build 3 PCs with that. Yeah, nobody's here to see that. Stop asking. Nobody wants to see my bottom slot. We're talking about the motherboard. Get your minds out of the gutter. Alright, so we're opening the Trix Panorama 360 box. Okay. And we're going to get the hardware out of this. We can get the mounting brackets and get that installed before we put it in the case. Pardon me. That's what we're after, is a box like this. I'd pull the cooler out, since we're already at this point. Because bleep it. Oh, now we're all blurry. There you go. My camera's like, I autofocus. Sometimes. Sometimes it needs to get with the program. Okay, so we're not using an Intel bracket. So, goes that. I actually didn't throw it. I made you guys think I threw it. But we do need that. Hello. Right. Hello, Mr. Anderson. I feel the same way, Tony. Yes. Yeah, you should just buy a 5090 and be happy. You guys watch Fish Tank? I don't watch Fish Tank. What do you watch in a Fish Tank? I'm Asian. Everything is pre-installed. Or pre-installed. Oh, yeah. Would not have read that one. All good. Good to go. Yo. Moving on. Alright, so now that that is there and ready to go, we can break the case out and slap this bad boy in there. I know that's what you guys want to see. Me slapping it in there. The motherboard in the case. We'll get a zoom out for this because it's big. The case, that is big. Hold up. It says, start here. Yeah, I'm following instructions. Well, what do you know? It's a BF. Use your adult imagination for the abbreviation there. 360 user guide. Accessory kit. I wonder what's inside the accessory kit. What do you know? Accessories. Nobody reads the manual. I'll give him... This case is a solid case. You could probably roll a tank over it and it wouldn't bend. Give him that. All right. This is the Haven. I sound like I'm speaking German. Haven BF 360. It's a behemoth. You wouldn't think this case is as big as it is, but it's pretty big. And it's heavy. So, and it says fragile. It wants you to be fragile with the glass. I do not recommend testing that theory with the tank running this over. It will likely flatten it. You could fix her. What does BF stand for? Bottom. Use your adult imagination. You could try. 20 years later, are there still ratings CPU by what they can do in 1080p? That cracks me up. There are still ratings for CPUs by what they can do in 1080p. Oh yeah, well I mean it's still technically relevant with today's market. 1080p. All right, let's get this thing open. I have a weird feeling that I'm supposed to start here at the top. I actually never opened one of these before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. My first time building in the case. Maybe I should read the instructions. Well, it's got a screw here. I think that's actually what's holding us up here. 99% sure. Probably for shipping. Yep. That's exactly what... Who needs instructions? Like, I got this. And then there's 2 screws here for the top. I will most likely put these screws back in for clarification for Adam when I'm done. That when he transports it, none of these panels pop off. Oh, now the top comes off when you remove the screw. Imagine that. All right, and there's another screw here on the back for the back panel. That is a total of 4 screws holding the panels on. But they got the push clip, so once it's in its place, its final destination, you can definitely not put the screws back on. All right. What's really valuable about this case is the massive fans on the front that are included, which move a lot of air. They are thick beasts, by the way. I did want to swap out, put a RGB fan, at least in the back, but I don't think I'm going to replace the front ones like I originally planned, only because those are such high-performing fans. I really like those. We must put RGB in the front. There are other ways to get RGB in the front, or we'll just have to replace with bigger fans. But let's see if I have 140. This is actually a really nice fan back here too. So I do have a Thermalright 140 that we could put back here. We want a little bit of extra RGB in the rig, but we will have RGB glowing from the top. We'll have RGB or a screen and then RGB on the RAM. I don't think there's any RGB on the solid Zotac graphics card. So, how much do I bench? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't bench. Happy Thursday, Killa. What's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. Giz Dragon. I have that case. It's awesome. Such good airflow. Yes, that is why I chose this case. It's actually the first time I'm actually officially building it. I would mess with the fan so good. Oh dear. Happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday, Kilobyte. Happy Thursday to you. So going back to the how much do you bench question. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Actually, it wasn't too far away. It was this galaxy. But it was a long time ago. My friend and I were changing... Excuse me. Dry throat. Maybe we restart that story. My friend and I were changing my buddy's rotors and brakes on the front of his car. The only jack that we had was a scissor jack. And it was a terrible idea because when you're trying to yank rotors off like an old car, they're usually seized up there on the whatchamacallit. So you have to smack it, and smacking it wiggles the car, and on a little scissor jack it starts to teeter-totter, you know. Well, my buddy's leg was underneath the rotor when it came down, so I had to lift this car off my buddy's leg, and I lifted the sedan off my friend's leg. And think about this, the suspension was still pushing down as I was lifting up, so I had to lift it pretty high. But I got it off his leg. That was a scary day. So at one point, I could bench the front end of a sedan. There you go. I don't know if I could still do that today. I probably would rip something. I would have a few hernias. I have had a few hernias, probably because of that. Probably because of that. So my 5060 Ti Linux Mint Cinnamon is using driver 595.5803. Pretty modern for Linux. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug, I know. It's addictive too. I want to buy a 1080p OLED that would be awesome to run a 5080. I don't know. I would not run 1080p on a 5080. I wouldn't go any lower than 1440p, dude. That's where I would stay. I heard that CPU is going to go up like crazy pretty soon. I'm thinking I might need to buy that 270 plus. Oh yeah, that processor is probably going to go up soon. You mean you would not mess with it? So just keep the fan as is? Alright. I'll let Adam decide if he's here in the chat still. Adam, if you're still here in the chat. I'm legit plugging this thing into 3 1080p monitors. Oh boy. Adam. We're gonna have to have a conversation. Which one is the... Oh gosh, there. One. Oh, here we go. Here's our motherboard install. I like how they actually labeled these, though. That is a nice feature. We haven't really looked at the back of this. Don't you worry. We'll get there. Don't you worry. Wait for Nova Lake. I'm actually going to go up to Burt Lake this year, not Nova Lake. Okay. let's slap this thing in here. Giggity giggity goo. I like you. What are we doing? I was gonna ask, did you want me to replace this back fan with an RGB fan? Or are you cool having two black fans in the front and a black fan in the rear? Because these are really high performing fans, meaning they move air. They'll do a better job than the RGB ones that we'd be putting in. So it's kind of your call if you want to keep it black. You will have RGB from the AIO flowing down into the system. But it's your call. You have a lot of high performing black fans. Well, that's good. I do Lynch with my black. Okay. Odell. So we're gonna go with that, Grizz Dragon. We're gonna, sounds like it. SoundCloud rapping pays off. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. 1440p OLED is the way, Dirty says. I haven't gotten to the OLED, but I am on 1440p, at least. you know, you guys know me. Ben's not an actual serious gamer anymore. He builds computers. He doesn't game anymore. Okay. So now that we've got this installed, we can move on to getting our front panel connectors in, and then we'll pop that power supply open and get our EPS cables plugged in up here at the top, and at least our 24 pin plugged in. And from there, we can install, mount the cooler, drop a graphics card in, flip it back around, slap the power supply in, do a little bit of cable management magic, and then finally plug it in and watch it explode. Because Ben plugged the power supply in upside down, or the cables backwards. Does that sound like a good plan for tonight? You guys want to see that happen? I mean, there is a command out on the Twitch to have me build blindfolded. I'm sure Adam would love me to build his PC blindfolded. All right. This front panel, by the way, is super dope. Not gonna lie, I get a little excited when I look at it, but the airflow. So I wanted to flip it back around because I wanted to identify. We got USB-C here. We got USB 3 here. And then we've got our front panel power connectors here. We have some PWM fan headers here and here. And then we've got our addressable RGB header here if we need it, which we don't for this current setup. And then our HD audio here. So those are the front panel, general front panel connectors that we deal with. Oh, then we should probably, I think one of these goes back to, we'll have to route that after we put that in then. One of these goes back somewhere to the USB header. The RAM scoop, it's good. Keeps my GPU, oh yeah, the RAM scoop keeps my GPU nice and cool. Yeah, a lot of cases are starting to implement that, like NZXT, they started that. I think NZXT started that trend, to be honest. Somebody else did long time ago. I've seen it, I feel like I've seen it in older cases before. They just didn't become popular until bigger GPUs came out and everybody was like, oh, my GPU's on fire. And then they started actually paying attention to like cooling performances versus aesthetics. unless people know who we're talking about. I don't know if I'm a fan of these like guitar string rubber grommets, or I guess I would say bass stringed rubber grommets. Bum 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 bum. You know, it's kind of strange, different, so to speak. Different. Wait, is this a fan header? Where's my... Oh, it's down there. Come to daddy. Ding. Alright, so now that we've got all of those routed, we can flip it back over. We want to send our EPS cables through. Let's do that. We've been on this EPS early EPS cable trend, and I'm starting to like it. Which is when we get into this situation right before we flip it over for the front panel stuff. We're also tackling the EPS cable as part of that process, and I like that. Cool. I have the 4K OLED and the 1440p OLED, and I have a mini LED 4K and mini LED 1440p, and then I have two 32-inch 1440p teams. I have to take a deep breath in between that one. I don't have any 1080, but I think I need one. Hey, Johnny, you got a problem. Sir, you got a problem. You have the itch. You have the itch. Thank you for the sub over there, Supa233 over on the YouTube. Jesse, thank you for the like a little while ago over on Facebook. Ben, can you water cool my uncle via his bottom slot? I don't think we have a big enough pump. We'd have to have a pretty big pump to pump the liquid through the bottom slot, you know? You know what I'm saying? Message retracted. It's okay. It's okay, Tony. I'll give you one. What's the term I'm looking for, guys? It's not really a strike. One out of jail. Get out of jail card. Thanks, Tony. Thank you for the 5 gifted members over there on the YouTube. Thank you, Tony, sir. Hitting Martin B. Zim. Angel, I think I've seen him a couple times. HD20 or HDZ77 and Elite Wave. I don't know them. Don't see them in the chat very often. Okay, so out of all these wonderful cables from the power supply, we are searching for 2 EPS cables. I can pump his uncle. Can pump it up. That's PCIe, SATA, PCIe, CPU, 24 pin, 16 pin. Okay. Well. What do we have here? Would you consider yourself a white urban raw top? I don't know what I would consider myself, Carl. What is with the strange questions? I mean, I grew up on a farm, if that's what you're asking for. Like, what is my history? I'm a farmer boy by heart, my core. Okay, EPS cable number 1. Finally, that's what What is this, man? Cool, but not at the same time. Well, Bert calls himself the Black Urban Raw Top. Oh, okay. In a gaming PC, which tends to become outdated first CPU or GPU. I'm kind of beige with freckles. Oh, no. We're getting into this. Getting a little messy out here, guys. Can you pop that black pimple for me, please? Wait. Where's my black pimple? It was a joke, Ben. I know it's a joke. Look, guys, it's Thursday, almost Friday. You said back, not black. Oh, do I have a back pimple? Ben needs a drink. I do need a drink, actually. It's that type of week. Or more like salmon colored. I'm not pink. Bruh. I refuse to believe it. Oh. Okay, so now you can see what I was going with here, right? You can see that I've got all the cables kind of routed nicely, mostly nicely, so that I could just plug them in. I just wanted to see how many times I'd flip that around and try to plug it in the wrong way. Huh? Alright. Outside of the GPU bracket doing whatever the hell it's doing here. We got it going on. Alright, I think we're good to install a cooler now. Hands facing this way. Is it really anticipating me to install it this way? I don't like that because it's these tubes are right up on the fans. Well, we got to turn the fans around, guys. Nice. I'm loving it. Make computer great again. I am trying, Chris. I am trying. Make frames real again. That's the true truth that we're after. Why are we using fake frames? Oh, Tony. Tony over on the Twitch as well with 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Hitting Winged Racer, Kilobyte, Zoro, Astral 5090, and Giz Dragon. Send the Jets home. Make America great again. You don't want Aaron Rodgers to go play for the Jets again? I don't know a single. Oh, Giz Dragon's in the chat right now. Don't lie, this is why you came. You came here to watch me undo a bazillion screws on a cooler that should already had the fans facing the other way. I don't understand why companies do that, especially if we're putting in... Most cases have a rear fan, so if I'm putting the cooler in, I always typically want the tubes in the front, so it clears the tubes from hitting the rear fan. It's pretty normal. I don't know why they would install the fans, pre-install the fans this way. Doesn't make any sense. How much would I have to pay you to start drinking a bunch and pass out over this guy's computer? I don't know. I do have a lot of liquor here, though. But I can tell you I can hold it. So it might be a while before I get to the pass out level. If it gives me an extra day with his computer. I'll take his computer on a photo shoot adventure. I could start a vlog for him. The Adventures of Adam's Computer. We'll start off with, like, terrible decisions at the casino. I gotta have this thing tomorrow. That was an idea. Start drinking, your stream will get really popular. Somehow I doubt that. Not that big of a drinker. I used to, not saying I used to drink a lot. I don't really drink that much. Yes, I know this thing comes off. We could have mounted it very differently. I mean, like, come on, look at me. Do I look like a guy that would take this panel off? The cores? Oh gosh, no. Cores just makes me feel super bloated. Here it is. You got kids and a good wife and responsibilities now. Look up. Now I look up to you. You're a good person. Oh, thank you. Thank you, good sir. That's mighty kind of you. Mighty kind of you. Any price watch on computer going down or steel going up? Any price watch on computer going down or steel going up? I'm not sure I understand the question there, Chris. Are you asking me, like, regarding, like, price watching steel and computer prices going up or down? I don't know about steel, but computer prices, I think, are going to start coming down. We've already seen a little bit of RAM come. We've seen prices on RAM come down a little bit. That's a good sign, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But I would say prices will come down throughout the summer because it's definitely super slow right now. It might not feel like it over here for me, because I have like 1,000,001 little projects going on right now. But the new builds are down. They're down bigly. So yes, the Intel processors are probably going to go up in price. Oh, what's up, Kiss? Kislasa? Kislasa? Did I say that right? Your question is, why did you make so many builds in 2023 compared to 2024? Well, there are a couple of reasons why that happened in 2023. The 2023 was kind of the tail end of COVID in a way. So it was actually kind of a boom year for PC building So there was that was going. I also went full time, meaning that was my only source of income was building PCs in 2023. So it was either that worked or I'd have to go back to work, like work. So I tried really hard to make it work, and even building 733 PCs in 2023 was not enough to cover the bills. So you'd think, oh my gosh, 733 builds, how is that not enough? And that's because when the type of builds that I was doing in 2023, which is what changed in 2024 and further on, was I did a lot of budget builds. And budget builds don't have very big margins. Like, we're talking $50 a build. It was hard. But I've kind of steered away from doing all those budget builds because it's just not worth the time. I still do one here and there, especially if it's for a kiddo or something like that, because my heart's there. I melt for kids. Anytime it's like, I have a kid and I want to build a PC, I'm like, oh, I'll do it for free. But you got to be local, because mom and dad has to be involved. Anyway, so that's why I did so many builds in 2023 versus 2024. Kind of slowed down. You could see the pattern. It's slowing down. But that's why I post that. 2024 was actually a pretty decent year because I did mostly higher end builds. I did a couple of, lower end budget builds, but that's why 2023 was so much bigger. Because people have money or had free money. Oh yeah, people had free money from the government also during 2023 with the checks and stuff. Which, by the way, I warned you guys that free money was going to come back to us. We were going to have to pay that back. And look at now. Look at our price of everything now. All right. So, with that being said, we have our cooler mounted. Ooh, I know, it's super cool looking. Like there's wheels on it. Doesn't seem like her. Let's get this thing mounted. So I put this foam block in there so this wouldn't scratch anything. Because, it's a big chunk of metal, scratching a chunk of metal. I do smart things like that. I've never been cheap to build a PC. Just do it because they actually have a seal on this. They have a seal on their tube, like it's ranch or something. Did I taste this? I mean, it's sealed. That means I should taste it. Okay, this is ridiculous. I can't get a plastic seal off a tube. Who's here to watch me cut my finger open? I know one of you in that chat is here for that. At least one of you. Alright. Now that we've got the seal undone, we should taste it. I'm just kidding. Don't taste your thermal paste, it's a bad idea. It actually looks like ranch, by the way, guys. I'm telling you, it's It's white. Look. You guys can't see it from here. Let me zoom in for you. I want you to look at it. It's white. Well, it looks silver now that it's on the CPU, but it's white. Waiting for the jokes. Okay, now that we've got that settled, actually this time put the tubes up bottom comfortably without stretching tubes, which is amazing. Giggity, giggity, goo. This is going to be a minute. I have not built in the Height X50 yet. I really want to. Honestly thought we had a build sold with that case, and then that never happened. So heavy, are you cool with me putting up the oh yeah, that's fine, Tony. I just didn't comment on it. I'd actually meant to respond to that. I don't care. The only thing I'd be worried about is if it's a parent of a kid that's in the Discord for some reason sees it and freaks out about it. But I don't really care. There we go. Got that bad boy mounted. So next, we're going to slap the screen on it. Reroute the fan cables back to the front. Drop a graphics card in. Route that power cord. Eventually. Fire this thing. Oh, that's where you saw the pimple. Back there, guys. Nice. Okay, so we got all that plugged in. Just gotta route that USB cable before it gets too late. We're singing 3 Days Grace. It's never too. Okay, now it's time for that GPU. It's peanut butter jelly time. Thank you for the gifted sub, Tony. Oh yeah, Tony's cool like that. He cool. I just replaced my AO with the Tyrix Panorama 360 screen display. Is fire. I know, it's got some really cool stuff. I actually made a custom video loop for the Tyrix Tyrix Panorama screen, and that is for the Titan specifically. So if you have a Titan from me with the panorama screen, you get that. Here, where to go? Zotac. Solid. OC 5070 Ti 16 gig card going in. GDDR7 PCIe 5.0 256-bit. To gaming and beyond. I feel like they took that one from Toy Story. Looks like you do get a little bit of a stand, although there is already a GPU support bracket included with the case. So, don't really need those. But for those of you who would buy this card, that's why I have a GPU support bracket in the box, if needed. Hello there. I don't think there's any peels there. That's it. No other peels. Okay. Wonder if people are going to start taking the gold off these cards since the price of gold is so high. Just adjusting the support bracket that's in the case. Go. And now, the power cord. Almost there, guys. Looking good. Clean. Just the way we like it. Alright, graphics card is installed, so let's get our power supply in. Do a little bit of cable magic, and then we fire this bad boy up. Chris says, wish me luck. I'll have an interview for the class of pre-apprenticeship class for data center training next week. Hopefully, I'll get it. I have communication electronics repair tech degree. Nice. I wish you luck, sir. In my second Haven, it's air cool. I have 4 180 millimeter fans. It's awesome. Yeah, these cases are really tuned into airflow. So I'm a big fan of their cases. Alright, so we're going to do power supply facing down for this one. Power supply fan facing down for this one. Oh, because of the shroud. Back up. Come out. All right. Now we just got to tidy up this cable mess. Then we'll fire it up. Pretty easy. This case does a really good job. Got one little monkey up here, where we get a couple of cables underneath cable. Shouldn't be. Not bad. Definitely not gonna find it. There we go. Now with that being solved, we can run our cables properly. Like I was saying, this case makes it super easy for cable management. We actually need to start up here. Do it live! Yeah. It's great. Oh, thank you. Hi, Flash. Welcome back to the Build Chow. Long time no see. Hope all are well. I'm doing okay. I think most people are here doing okay too. Thanks. Hopefully I get it. I get it. Of the knowledge of motherboards. Lots of people disagree, but data centers, yeah, data centers are actually probably going to be the new IT job, because eventually you're not really going to need IT as much. Eventually. Not like now or anytime near in the future, but eventually we'll get ITs, or tech's going to be that simple, and all the old boomers that need all the help will, be phased out, retired, and done. And all the younger people, the younger generations that grew up with the tech, are going to know how to use it. So all the basic stuff that all your IT people have to do will eventually phase out. And then your IT job will be data centers. Keeping the cloud alive, basically. It's just an opinion. What do you guys think? Is that clean enough? There you go. There's some clean cable management for you. What do you guys think? There you go. I want you to see this masterpiece. Nice. What CLX Gaming did to me, I found out when I had to replace the power supply, was jam every wire into every crevice like a rat king. Well, you don't have that problem with this build. Look, you can stick your hand in the power supply cavity and not worry about, you know, unplugging something or something getting tangled. So this is how it should be done if you are paying somebody to build your PC. It should look like this. So that includes CLX. If they're lazy, it's not my fault. My fault for not getting to you first. Okay. Let's clean up some of this hardware, then we're going to slap some panels on it and fire it up for the very first time. Adam, I hope you're ready. Feel like you're ready. I know you're pretty anxious. Probably feeling that withdrawal. So I am going to put those screws back on the panels. We'll just mark the box which side the glass is up so you know how to lay it in the car. But it's, once you get it in its final place and you take those screws out, you don't have to put them back in unless you transport it. Maybe I should hold off from putting these screws back in case I have to go back in there. I mean, it looks pretty clean. Not gonna lie. I did a pretty good job. I'm getting myself excited looking at it. Bro, Ben, my PC now has a 9850X 3D and a 9070 XT. It's so nice. Right, smooth like butter. The frames, that is. You are a cool person. I'm glad that I got gifted. What's up? Oh yeah, Kilobyte's pretty cool. He's been around for a while too. Alright. I'm gonna save that screw for... We'll put the glass back on. We'll get a side view here and we'll fire it up. Get to see if it explodes or if it posts. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to explode or do you think it's going to post? Maybe catch fire? We're going to have to zoom out for this one. Where'd my thingamabobber go? There it is. GPU bracket is a little overkill on the lift on the back end of it. And no, it is not powered on. That's just the screen getting power from the power supply that's plugged in. And then it's the USB header, which sends power. All right. Mr. Adam, are you ready to punch this power button? You got to tell us when you're ready to punch it. Yes, I am wearing pants, yes. Does it look like I'm not? Chris says power it up, but we're waiting for Adam. Smash it with your fist full of power. I did it with my fist. Hopefully I didn't break the button. That'd be kind of a bummer. Huh. Oh, you know what? I forgot to plug in the SATA cable for the hub. It's okay. It'll be all right. I knew I shouldn't have put that screw in. Well, that's why the rear fan isn't running. And the front fans. I gotta plug in one cable. Means I do need a SATA cable. Okay. I'll get that. Classic, I know. Yeah, I always forget the hub. You always forget the hub. Alright, just waiting for it to post here. It's doing some memory training, I believe. Now it is cycling through the lights, and it does look like it's doing some memory training. Give that a minute. While it's doing that, I might be able... 'em in there. surprised it hasn't posted yet. Take a little peeky poo. Oh, there it goes. I spoke too soon. I got a little too excited. It posted. We're finally at the BIOS on the screen. I don't know if you could kind of see it because of all the dust on my screen. I deal with a lot of dirty PCs when they come in here. A lot of dust comes through here. All right, I enable X3D mode. We're going to update the BIOS first before we get into that. But we are in the BIOS. Now I just need to get the fans turned on. Let me do that real quick. After we hit the BIOS here. Save and exit. Power off. Actually plug the fans in. Power back on. We'll update the BIOS and that'll probably increase that boot time. Probably running a really old BIOS. Let's go see. This is our BIOS version. Ah, yes, we're running a BIOS version from 7/16/2025. So yes, a pretty old version of this BIOS. Which is the F6 version for the B850 Aurorus Elite Wi-Fi 7. And if I'm not mistaken, there was actually one that was just released for this board back in the beginning of April. So I'm pretty sure doing a BIOS update is really going to help that boot time. So let's shut it down and get our fans plugged in. Actually prove that we know what we're doing. I knew I was going to kick myself in the foot. I put that screw in the back. Oh, yeah, let's look at the back of the monitor to where all my zip ties are hidden. Okay, now that the fans are plugged in, we should have moving fans on the back and the front. Oh, look at that. That's better. Mucho better. Hello, hello, what's up? Welcome back to the build show. All right, so we got the fans plugged in, so we are good. Running cool for sure now. There you have it, Adam. The build is built. Let me know if you want anything changed between now and the next couple hours, because that's the time that I'm going to have with it. I'm going to get the BIOS updated, get Windows installed, get all the drivers downloaded and installed, and then play around with the Trix software for the screen. And then we're going to throw it on some benchmarks, test it, make sure our AMD Expo profile is set, of course. Gear boots enabled and all that. Trix. It says Trix. Yes. T-R-Y-X. It's Trix, yes. But I hope you enjoyed the build show at least. Can you bench the computer on the stream? It would take too long for me to install Windows, do the BIOS update and all that before we get to the point where we're benchmarking. We're probably 2 hours away. I don't know that I want to stand straight and do all that. You guys really want me to do that? Bench press? No, benchmark. Bench, not benchmark. I don't know if you guys want to watch me make a fool of myself. I'm like almost 40 years old now, and I haven't worked out in 10 years. I'm a dad now, and I build computers. I should work out. I probably could do 20 push-ups. I feel like I could do 20 push-ups and then have jello arms for 2 days straight. I still get jello arm, like, because we just started the mowing season here in Michigan. So the weed whacker comes out, and the first couple times you use the weed whacker, you get the jello arm afterwards. But last weekend I had a terrible jello arm. Do you think I did a good job? Yeah, Tony, I think you did a great job on your belt. I just turned 58, so I'm out of shape. Yeah, I hear ya. Oh, Flash, congratulations, man. It is a world-changing, a life-changing event, if this is your first, Flash. Congratulations, though. We've got 3 of those joyful packages here. And let me tell you, they change your life. But congratulations, Adam, on your new build. I'm sorry it took a couple extra days than what we anticipated originally. I tried. But the build schedule, you must follow the build schedule here. I just found out my wife is pregnant. Wow, what have you guys been doing, man? Oh, yeah, that would definitely change your life as well, Carl. I feel like it's sarcasm there, though. All I think about is when I'm going to, it said, is it going to be tomorrow or next week? It could be. You never know. I don't have a concept of time. Yeah, with the hours you probably work, yeah. Noah, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. You're just tuning in right at the end here. We're tutoring some dudes on Rust. Oh, nice. Nice. It was unexpected. Yeah, I've got a few people in the server that play Rust. The Discord server. So if you haven't already joined our Discord, ! Discord in the chat to get the link and join up. Got to show off the builds. We talk hardware there, we game there, we joke there. Oh yeah, and the after party's probably going to be there while I'm benching, not benchmarking. Thank you, Some Giant Idiot, for dropping that. Nah, you can turn it around. Let's start with the diet. My best advice, though I don't look like I do. So, remember, all you got to do is just turn DLSS on, and you look great. Turn DLSS on. It'll be good. Ah, shoot, I'm hella late. Yeah, the build's already done, man. I even started late. DLSS 5, yeah, make sure DLSS version 5 is on. Version 5. It won't look right in version 4 anymore. Brother, my grandma's 92, some people live forever, I know. It feels some people just, they gotta stay. Who knows? I don't want to think morbid stuff like that, to be honest. We've gone through our fair share of funerals over the last couple of years. I don't want to hear about another one or have to go to another one right now. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, Detroit Truck Doctor? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. I mean, when you have kids, it kind of changes it. So, yes, I would, so I could see how my kids do. That type of thing. At least I got to see it turn on. Hell yeah. Who's this one for? This one's for Adam. He's in the YouTube chat here. I think he's actually at work right now too, which is hilarious. Yeah, we've gone through that too. My wife's Mrs. Empower's parents over the last couple of years is what we had to deal with. So, yes, I haven't built. So I totally hear you. Yes, I hear you too. I feel for you. Yeah, I know, Tony. I'm sorry. No, I'm on Rust. Work ended in hours. Oh, shoot. Okay, he's working on Rust now. He's not actually working. I stay there too late. They worry I'm gonna touch. I mean, oh, you actually sold your 5090 for a 5070 Ti. You sold it for $3,000. Holy smokes. I mean, I guess if you make money on it, because you bought that a while ago, didn't you, Sauce? Took. Say sucks. I don't even know. I try. Every time I see your name, I just get confused. Yeah, you definitely made money on it. You probably spent what, around $2,000 for yours, and then made at least $1,000. Felt like a loss of. Yeah, you definitely left some frames there. Lost. And then your power supply too. You got what, a 1,200 or 1,000? You at least have a 1,000 watt power supply in your system for the 5090. But preferably 1,200 is what I like to see with a 5090. But you definitely got some headroom there on the power supply now. Definitely a downgrade. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. I mean, when you cut your VRAM in half. 1,200 watt, yeah. Chris, 2 days. I just watched news. Father was mowing a yard. Child snuck out to go over to the neighbor's yard to swim. Aw, man. That's terrible, Chris. I hate reading stuff like that. Life is precious. Buy the 5090. You feel guilty? Yeah, that does feel. I would feel guilty too. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, I would definitely throw that in there. Definitely prayers for that family. We've had we've gone through our fair share of that kind of stuff with a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends. Big family, lots of friends, lots of stuff happen. Yeah, prayers for this PC, because the last one didn't make it very long. Apparently, Adam blows them up, so this might be the last time you see this PC hole, guys. This might be the last time you see this PC hole. Could be in pieces next time. Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. We're just slow this year. Super slow with builds. You'll catch me here and there. Join the Discord channel if you haven't, Flash. That's the best way to get notified when I'm going to be live. Usually I give people a heads up there. I'm going to see a lot of peace. Oh yeah, yeah. You're going to be checking that bottom slot in this one, huh? No, I'm not going to be flashing no bottom slots on this one. I think Adam can check the bottom slot on this one on his own time off camera when he comes and picks it up. Absolutely, and it'll be nice and clean for him. Ready, unlike CLX. Right. I know, you got some weird schedules too, Flash. Adam can relate. I'll leave that between you two. You guys can do that with your own tech on your own time. It's lonely. Yes, I hear you, man. You never have anyone to game with. Ping people in the Discord. Get a gamer group going for your time frame. I'm sure there's people out there with a similar schedule. I'm rocking a 5070 Ti with the 14900K. Yeah, I feel like that 14900K is over there living it up. Nice cushy life with that 5070 Ti after it was running the 5090. It's like, oh, this is a breeze. Yeah, make sure you do that BIOS update too. Keep those BIOS updates going. Don't want to catch it with that old, whatchamacallit. Drawing a blank on the word. Why do I do this, guys? It might be because it's midnight and I've been up for like too long. Yes, I'm glad you only spent that for the 5080. Bungus. Yeah, that is the word I am looking for. Bungus. The microcode. The M code. Yeah, you should probably hunt him down and get your 5090 back. Here's your money. Here's a 5070 Ti also. Just tell him, you know, you just have to have one more night with it. That'd be an awkward conversation. Hey, bro, do you still have that 5090? Yeah, I need a night with it. All right, gentlemen, and if there are any ladies in the chat, we are gonna call this a night, though. Uh-oh. Hello? What? What's happening? Hello? Me Well, there goes Epidemic Sound. It's gone. And it's gone. Is anything else freaking out, or is it just me? I mean, I know the music's gone. Holy smokes, that was some weird Streaming, they said, would be fun. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's that time of the night where we say, adios, amigos. Good night. We built Adam's PC. We have the after party over at Discord, over in the Discord channel. Feel free to join up there. And the next build, I have no idea when it's going to be. I'm going to try to squeeze one in the weekend, or Monday. Monday will be the last night I will be able to stream for the entire week next week because I'm going to Boston. So I will not be available Tuesday through Saturday up next week. So if I do get a chance to stream, it's going to be either this weekend or Monday night. Those are my only two opportunities to stream between now and the trip to Boston. I do not know which day or time I'm going to be doing that stream because I have to finish some paint and I haven't gotten to that. I keep getting piled on with other builds and stuff. That's the problem with doing like super custom builds, like painting, is it takes time, and then you get other builds with a schedule, and you try. Yeah, it's so hard to juggle all this stuff, guys. They don't pay me enough. I'm joking. So if the paint's done in time, we'll be able to stream that build over the weekend or Monday. Pick it up in Discord, and that's where I'll keep you kind of posted on the stream. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out while we built Adam's PC. I'm going to finish this one up and package the other one up for shipping tomorrow. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys.
isn't given. It's built. Every component. Every detail. Engineered without compromise. This is not just a gaming PC. This is the Titan. The Titan is forged from raw power, precision craftsmanship, and unrelenting performance. Only the elite are brave enough. Built to dominate, built to last. Built for legends. The Titan has arrived.